All right, we are here for the blog topic selection simplified webinar. I'm going to be talking about how to select the perfect blog topic without bashing your head in. One of the things that I've noticed is a lot of people that come through become a blogger, and some of the other things that I've done in the past have an issue with selecting their blog topic. And I wanted to deal with this right up front so that I can help you in this process. I have some resources to share with you. I have some information to share with you that I believe is going to help you succeed when it comes to choosing a topic for your blog. But before we start, I actually want to do a little poll. I'm going to flash a poll up on your screen, and it's going to ask you if you already have a niche. And I'm going to give you a few seconds to answer that question. And I want to just see kind of where we are when it comes to this process of selecting a topic. So you can go ahead and you should see a poll in front of you right now. So just go ahead and click on yes, no, or I think I do, but I don't know if it's good. Okay, so we have a number of people voting. The numbers are coming in. And in a few seconds, I'm going to give you a few more seconds to answer that question because this is something that I'm very interested in knowing. So in 5, 4, we have a few people that haven't voted as yet. Go ahead and cast your vote quickly. 4, 3, 2, 1. And, oh man, a bunch of people voting right now at the last second. I'll give you like 4 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's close the poll. All right, so I'm going to share the results with you guys. You can see the poll results right now. So I see 39% of you have already selected a blog topic. 21% of you are saying no, you have not. 39%, just as much as have selected one, is saying I think I do, but I don't know if it's good. So thank you for taking part. You can get a good idea of where you guys are. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to make it so that you guys have exactly what you need in order to answer the question, which blog topic I should choose. Just really quick, you can see on here that you can connect with me on Twitter. If you just go to leslieontwitter.com, on Facebook, leslieonfacebook.com, and on Google+, Leslie on googleplus.com. You can connect with me there. I love connecting with you guys on social media. And I'm going to be posting updates there to keep you informed as to what's going on with Become a Blogger, with me at Learning with Leslie, and all those types of things. So let's get into the topic for today. Inside this webinar, what we're going to talk about, number one, is how to discover your passion. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about the content that I am talking about. It's something that gets me excited, and I think it's a big part of running a successful blog. That is knowing what your passion is. Number two, we're going to talk about how to do your market research. That's a very important process that a lot of people skip. And it can give you kind of like an edge if you do it the right way when you're started. And then lastly, I'm going to give you some tips on getting content ideas because yes, you have your blog topic. Maybe you have your blog topic, but you're not sure how to keep coming up with content on a regular basis. So I'm going to give you some tips to help you out with that. Now, who is Leslie Samuel? You need to know a little bit about me. You probably know some about me already, but I want to tell you a little more about who I am so we can get to know each other a little better. Number one, I'm going to deal with over here on the left. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my offline life, and then I'm going to talk about my online life. But offline, I'm actually an assistant professor in the Doctor of Physical Therapy program at Andrews University. Andrews University is the university that I attended, and now I am privileged to be able to teach at that university. And it's an interesting story there, but I have that job actually in part because of what I've been doing online and my blog. And you guys probably know a little bit about my biology blog, but as a result of that, I was able to land a job as an assistant professor. I am a husband to one beautiful wife, whom I love very much. And I am the father to no children. But you know, there's something interesting. I'm a little extra excited today as I'm doing this webinar with you because we just came back from the doctor, and my wife is pregnant. We are expecting. You are one of some of the first people to know this. Thank you guys for the congratulations in the chat room. But I'm very excited about this. We've been married for 6 years and we plan to start having children this year, and we've been successful. Yes, hooray! I see Deb saying hooray there. I am very excited. Okay, let's continue. I'm also a musician. I love music. I play the piano, and I've been privileged to do a lot of music in many different places, and that's a big part of who I am and what I do today. I am also a Christian. That's something that I'm very proud of. It's a part of my personality. It's a big part of what makes me who I am. So that's a little bit about me in the offline world. When it comes to online, I am an internet marketer, as you're probably very aware of. I am a blogger, as you are also probably very aware of, and I am a podcaster. I run a podcast called Learning with Leslie, where I share internet marketing tips about blogging, internet marketing, traffic generation, all that stuff. I cover that on the podcast. Some of the websites that I focus on, my main blog is learningwithleslie.com. Like I told you, I have a biology website. My biology blog is at interactive-biology.com. And of course, if you are on this webinar, you know that I'm also one of the instructors, the lead instructor at becomeablogger.com. And I've been enjoying interacting with you guys. It's a lot of fun. And I am excited for some of the things that we have planned for you. So we're going to be talking about selecting a niche. And at the end of the webinar, I'm gonna have some Q&A where you can ask me questions about the content that I'm going over in this webinar, or just questions in general, or you have a comment that you want to add. You'll be able to do that at the end. But I want to talk a little bit first about what makes an ideal niche, in my opinion. An ideal niche is something that when you think about it, you get excited about it. You want to blog about it because it's something that's so a part of who you are. You are passionate, you are excited. But not just that. People are coming to their computers, they're coming online, they're looking for solutions, they're looking for information when it comes to blogging, when it comes to that niche. They're doing searches and trying to find information about it, and they're doing this often. And lastly, they are willing to spend money in that niche. If you are trying to build a blog and you're trying to build a business around your blog, you want to choose something that people are willing to spend money on. If you're just blogging for fun, if you're just blogging to get information out there, you can do so. But if you're going to build a business, you want to make sure that it is profitable. So I like to call this the 3 Ps of perfect niches. This is something that I came up with because I like the way it looked. I like the way it sounded. And I think it has some value in it. So number 1, you want to be passionate about it. So the first circle is passion, as we spoke about. The second circle is popular. And really what I'm saying there is people are coming online and a lot of people are searching for information with regards to that particular topic. And number 3, the third P is you want it to be profitable. Passion, popular, and profitable. Those are the 3 Ps of a perfect niche. Now, what happens if you don't have all of them? Let's say you only have passion, you're passionate about it, and a lot of people are coming online searching for information. You're blogging, you're making a whole bunch of content, but you're not making any money. The result is you're going to be poor and tired. I know I'm making this a little bit extreme, but it's just to illustrate a point. You can be working on this blog that you're very passionate about, that a lot of people are searching for it, but you're not able to make money to sustain what you're trying to do, to enhance what you're trying to do. Well, what about if it was popular and profitable, but you're not passionate about it? Well, if that's the case, you'll start making content, adding content to your blog, getting excited. Well, not necessarily getting excited about the content because you're not passionate about it. But a lot of people are coming to your website. It is making money. But what ends up happening is you can get very frustrated. You're working at something, you don't enjoy it. I'm sure you have an idea of what it is to be working at a job that you just don't love. That is something that can happen even online, and it can make you very frustrated. What about if it's profitable and you're passionate about it, but not a lot of people are searching for it? what will happen there is you will end up with something that's relatively inconsistent. And that is not a place where you want to be. So there's a happy medium where you have passion, popularity, and profitability. And that is exactly where you want to be, right in the middle of these three P's. All right. So there are going to be two parts to what I'm going to be talking about today. Number one, there's going to be the brainstorming section where you're going to just use your brain and just come up with all kinds of stuff so that you can go on to the next section, which is doing your market research. These are the two things that we're going to cover today, and we're going to go into a significant amount of detail when it comes to that. So let's first talk about the brainstorming process, because this is a very significant process. And in this process, there are three questions I want you to be asking. Three significant questions that I want you to be asking. The first you already know. And that is, what are you passionate about? Are you passionate about fishing, for example? Are you passionate about playing the guitar, playing basketball? Are you passionate about cooking? Whatever that thing is, what I want you to do is make a list of as many things as possible. Maybe you might think about 10 things or 20 or 30 things that you're passionate about. And you can write those down to continue on to the next stage. Now, I'm also going to be giving you guys a handout when I post this replay of the webinar, a handout that you can use to go through these steps, answer the questions so that it can help you to come up with your perfect niche. Now, why do I emphasize this passion thing? Because a lot of people don't emphasize it, but some people do. And I tend to be someone that is very much into finding something that you're passionate about. And the reason why I am so much into finding something that you're passionate about is because if you're building a business, you are going to encounter some setbacks. You're going to encounter some problems, some maybe some decline, some stagnation, some delays, some mishaps. And if you're not passionate about that content that you're producing, it is going to be easy to say, you know what, forget about this. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just wasting my time. I have another question that I want to ask you guys, and it's a very obvious question. I'm going to post it right now. And the question is simply, have you encountered setbacks in your online business? Go ahead and answer that. Let's see what we have. Okay, so we have a number of people voting so far. I'm going to give you some more time. Ooh, very interesting results. I'm going to give you 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3. Come on, get your last votes in there. And we're going to close the poll right now. Okay, so I'm going to share the results with you, and let's see what we get. What you'll see here is 89% of you guys, almost 90% of you guys, 9 out of 10 individuals have encountered setbacks. And then there are a few, 11% that are saying no. And that's possible. It may be that you stumbled onto something that it was very significant. You stumbled onto something that you were maybe passionate about, and things just took off for you. That does happen. But in most cases, as you can see from these results, people do encounter setbacks. And you want to make sure that although you're encountering setbacks, you are passionate enough to continue. So I'm going to hide those results now. And we're going to move on to the next question. So question number 1 is, what are the things that you are passionate about? Question number 2 is, what are some of the things that people compliment you about on a regular basis? When you cook, do your friends come over and say, oh, your food is awesome, I just love it, the way you make that mashed potato and gravy, or whatever the case might be? Do people really get excited about your cooking? Do people get excited about the way you dance? Or maybe you might be into knitting, and you maybe knit a number of awesome things, and you always get compliments about it. Whatever those things are, I want you to make a list of those things, because those are things that we can use when we now go and do your market research. I hope you guys are taking notes on this stuff. If you're not, I would recommend for you to do so. I will have a sheet for you when I do post the replay of this that you can use and walk through some of this, so you don't have to write everything. But let's move on to the next thing. The next question is this, and this is one that's also very significant. What are you always helping people with? Are there certain things in your life that you do very well and people are always coming to you for advice, for help, for support, or anything of that sort? That is very significant. For me, for example, when I was in college, I used to help a lot of people with biology. Obviously, that's something that I have taken now and I've turned into an online business that's doing very well. And it's something that I get excited about. Also, I'm very much into anything computer related. If you ask me about Apple, Macintosh, or anything of that sort, I get very into that kind of stuff. And those would all be potential ideas for niches that I can possibly go into and use that information and move on to the next one. I actually have another question that really tells a lot about whether you're passionate about something, but it's phrased in another way. What would you do for free? No, I'm not saying turn down money like this guy is doing here. But if there was something in your life that you enjoy doing, whether you are being paid for it or not, I want you to take those things and write those down on a list. So you have your sheet and you're going to write down all these things. What are you passionate about? What are you always helping people about? What do people compliment you about? What would you do for free? Now, these are all ideas, like I said, that you can take now from your brainstorming session, and you can then go on to the market research, and we're going to get into that. Another thing, if you're struggling to come up with answers to these questions, my recommendation would be to ask the people in your life that matter. Ask your family. Your family cares about you. Your family knows you probably better than anyone else knows you in most situations. These are the people that care about you. They know you. Get input from them. Just go ahead and ask them. What do you think would be something that I would get excited about? What do you think that I'm good at? What do you guys think if I were to start a blog? What kind of topics would you recommend? Of course, you can also ask your friends. Your friends, hopefully they also do know you and they care about you and they can give you some insight that you may not have thought about. And this is something that I highly recommend for you to do. So they can basically help you in this brainstorming process. Once you've done all of this, what I want you to do is compile a list of these things. So if it were for me, mine would look something like this. I have things like gospel music, playing the piano, biology, education, friendship, technology, Apple computers, spirituality, relationship, blogging, video production or editing, acting, public speaking, podcasting, reading, website design, healthy living, exercise, baking, playing the guitar. These are all things that I get excited about. And these would all be potential things that I can go on and do my market research to see if it makes sense for me to go into one of these particular niches. All right, so let's recap on that. So to recap, number one, it's best to blog about something you're passionate about. Ask yourself the following questions. Number one, what do you enjoy doing? In other words, what are your hobbies? What are the things that you do for fun? Number two, what do people often compliment you about? Do the people say that your cooking is great? The way you clean your car? I don't know. The way you play basketball? Do people compliment you about that a lot? And what do people ask you to help them out with? These are questions that can really help you to solidify what types of areas you are thinking about getting into when it comes to your blog. And lastly, I mentioned that it's a very good idea to get input from the people who matter the most to you, your family, your friends. These are all people that can give you tremendous amount of insight when it comes to what you can do with a blog. All right, so that is our brainstorming session. I want you to go through that process, especially if you're not sure what you want to be blogging about. I'm going to post another poll. This is the last poll that I'm going to post. And I just want to get an idea of how many of you guys have gone through a process like this, have gone through a process of brainstorming, asking yourself, what do you enjoy doing? What do people compliment you about? What do people ask you about a lot? Getting input from the people around you that you care about. And the results are looking very interesting. And I'm going to give you a few more seconds to chime in and cast your vote. And then we're going to move on to the market research section. So I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and probation is closed. So I'm going to share the results with you. And you can see 79% of you have gone through a process that is somewhat similar to this, or maybe even similar to this. And 21% of you have not gone through a process like this. For the 79% of you that have done that, great. Now we're going to take that information and we're going to go on to market research. For those of you that have not done that, I would encourage you to do that. A reminder, I am going to send out a sheet that you can use to fill out, answer these questions for yourself to move on into the market research section. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about market research. Now, when it comes to market research, I'm going to do this in 2 different ways. I'm going to first talk about a way that is free. And I think it's very important to understand this. Well, number one, because it's free and we always like not spending money, especially when things are tight. I know that a lot of people that start blogging, when I started blogging, one of the reasons why I did it is because money was low. So I want to talk about how to do it in a way that doesn't cost you anything. But another significant part of this is by understanding how these different tools work, you can understand how some of the paid tools work because you know the foundation. So we're going to talk about the free way, and then we're going to talk about what I like to call the smart way. It saves a significant amount of time, and we're going to go into both of these so that you have both options that you can use, and you have a fairly good understanding of how I would recommend for you to go through this process. Now, when it comes to doing market research, when it comes to blogging specifically, there are 2 ways that people generally go about blogging. Number one, you'd find the people that are very much into niche marketing. And with niche marketing, you find that they end up doing a lot of keyword research to find one or a few keywords that are good keywords. In other words, a lot of people are searching for the keywords. There's not a lot of competition, and they can rank well on the first page of Google and get a lot of traffic from those few keywords or even that single keyword. But then there's what I like to call authority blogging. And with authority blogging, what you're trying to do is you're trying to build a blog that is an authority on a certain topic. This is what I advocate. This is what I'm passionate about. There's absolutely nothing wrong with niche research, niche marketing. I know a number of people that do this very successfully. And it might be something that you would also want to get into. But what I'm going to be talking about is doing the research for a blog that you want to become an authority on. And you will find that one of the difference is that it's not as detailed in the keyword research, typically, at least for me. And it's not that you're trying to rank for one particular keyword. Yes, you do have a main keyword, but because you're building an authority blog, there are a bunch of other keywords that you can rank for that will also send a significant amount of traffic. The main thing here is that you do not have to be some kind of a SEO superhero, SEO king or queen to understand how to do the process that I'm going to be talking about. And this is the way I like to do it. I don't want to spend a ton of hours every day or every week just doing a bunch of market research and keyword research. I want to do what I'm passionate about. So I'm going to talk about my perspective where that's concerned. All right, so when it comes to market research, there are 3 important questions that you need to be asking. 3 important questions that I ask when I try to do any kind of research. And that is 1, are people searching for the content that I want to produce or that I am producing? Number 2, how strong is the competition? If a lot of people are searching, but there's a lot of competition, it's going to be significantly harder to rank well in Google for those keywords. That does not mean that you can't do well with a blog that's in a very competitive niche. I am doing that. A number of other people are doing that. And we're also going to touch a little bit at the end. I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can go into even a popular niche, a niche that is very competitive, and still do awesome stuff, still have awesome results. And number three, will people buy? Those are the three things you want to know when you're doing a research, your market research. Are people searching? How strong is the competition? And will people buy? Especially if you're trying to build a business around your blog. So let's talk about this keyword research thing. And I want to talk about some of the best free keyword research tools. The first one is called your brain. This is one that a lot of people overlook when it comes to doing keyword research. But your brain can give you a lot of information in terms of what people are interested in. You can observe certain things and come to certain conclusions. And we're going to talk about that. Of course, number two would be the Google keyword tool. You can find this by just going to Google and searching for Google keyword tool. And the first thing that comes up will be the Google AdWords keyword tool. And number three is an SEO tools extension. Now, depending on which browser you're using, there are a number of different extensions that you can use. I use Chrome. The one that I use is called SEO for Chrome, and I'm going to show you exactly how that works. And there are a few of them that I'm also going to be including in the list of resources for you to be able to access depending on what browser you are using. So let's first start about the first one, the one that we tend to overlook, and that is your brain. I hope you guys like using your brain, because that is really going to help you as you blog. This is something that can really help you significantly. First thing I want you to do is just use your brain and narrow down your potential niches to the top 2 or 3. Narrow down your potential niches to the top 2 or 3. The top 2 or 3 that you think, man, I would love to blog about that. This would make me so excited. I'd be so excited that I would have so much to talk about. I can't stop talking about this in real life. So I can imagine that I will continue talking about this online. So narrow it down to the top 2. Circle those. And we're going to do some research on those top 2 or 3. You can start with as few as 1 and then go to the next one. The next thing I want you to do is use your brain to answer the following question. Who is your target audience? And I want you to be very, very specific. So what do I mean? I run a biology site. And in trying to find out my target audience, I need to really think, who am I catering to? Am I catering to students in high school? Am I catering to teachers in high school, students in college that are taking specific biology classes? I can get as specific and as detailed as that. And I would encourage you to do the same. It is important to understand who your target audience is, because then you know exactly who you're marketing to, and that's going to determine how you market. And then you want to ask yourself the following questions about your target audience. Number 1, are they seriously passionate about your topic? What you're going to spend all this time writing about? If you have your target audience, are they really excited about that type of content? Number 2, another question you can ask is, are they seriously afraid of something? And number 3, the third question you can ask yourself, is there something they seriously want? Now, notice that there, I didn't say seriously need, because one of the things that we have is a tendency to say, you know what, my audience needs this, but they may not want it. And if they don't want it, you end up having to convince them that it's something they need, and you don't want to do that. Sorry, I took a quick break there to close the window because there were some birds outside chirping loud, and it was it was disturbing me a little bit. So these are the 3 questions that I want you to ask after you've narrowed down your potential niches to the top 2 or 3. I want you to define who specifically is your target audience, and then ask, are they seriously passionate about your topic? Or what are they seriously passionate about? Are they seriously afraid of something? And is there something they seriously want? When I think about this, the one that jumps out to me when it comes to my niche is my target audience are college biology students. Is there something that they're seriously afraid of? Yes, they are afraid of failing college biology. So that's one way that you can really kind of narrow down on what you want to blog about. Okay, so once we've used our brain to narrow these things down, we can then go to the next free tool, which is the Google Keyword Tool. Now, I'm going to be showing you a number of websites. I'm also going to be showing you inside some software, but I'm not going to be loading it up. I'm just going to be showing you screenshots of the important things so that we don't have any lags and so on. Okay, so here we have the Google Keyword Tool. And let's say I've narrowed down my top 2 or 3, and on the top of my list is going to be biology. Why? Because I'm a nerd. Yes, I accept that, and I'm 100% okay with that. So what I'm going to do, what I did, is I went to the Google Keyword Tool, and here you can see I entered the word biology, and then I clicked on search. And when I click on search, I get not only a number of keywords that are related to the topic that I am searching for, but I also get to find out how many searches there are for that particular keyword on a monthly basis, globally, locally on a monthly basis. And that gives me a lot of information about what? How many people are searching for that content. So as I look through here, there are a number of things that I see. Biological scientists, biological weathering, HSC biology. A number of these don't mean anything to me. And as I look down through this, there's only one that really stands out to me. I mean, there probably are more on the other screens because you can see this is just a few out of 800 results. But one that stands out to me here, just because of what I'm passionate about, what I love, and what I feel, is importance of biology. Importance of biology has approximately 8,100 searches globally on a monthly basis, and locally 1,600. Now, there are a few things that I want you to know about this, because this is a question that I always get when I'm talking about keyword research, especially if someone is in the audience that knows about keyword research. But over here, you will see that this is a broad match. There are different types of matches that you can do, match types that you can do. There's broad, exact, and phrase. When I use broad, I'm going to get the largest number. I'm simplifying it here, but I'm going to talk a little more detail about what it is. But then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come and I'm going to select exact. And when I select exact, okay, so I've selected exact, you will see that I still have the keyword, a number of keyword ideas, 800 to be specific. And if I look down here, I also see importance of biology. And then if I look here, I will see 1,300 global monthly searches. And if I look at local monthly searches, I see 58. So the numbers are significantly lower. And then there's also a phrase match option. So the question that I get is, what's the difference between broad, exact, and phrase match? And that's what I want to tell you. Number one, broad match. When you do a broad match search for a particular keyword, it also includes similar phrases and varieties of that keyword. So if my keyword is importance of biology, my keyword phrase, an example of a broad match would be biology and how important it is. It is not exactly what I search for. It's not an exact match, but it does contain those keywords or some variation of those keywords. Then there's a phrase match. And when I'm talking about a phrase match, we're talking about phrases that include your keywords. So for example, you can have something like the importance of biology in education, or the importance of biology in life, or whatever the case might be. It includes that keyword phrase that you are searching for, but it includes it in a phrase that might be very related to what you're targeting, or it might be not as related to what you're targeting. And when I'm talking about an exact match, that's exactly what it sounds like. It only includes the exact keyword or phrase. And in this example, the exact match would be importance of biology. So The question then is, which one of these should you pay attention to? Is there one that you should focus on and just forget about the rest? Should you only be looking for exact matches? Well, this is the way I look at it. When you're first starting to set up a blog, you're first trying to rank for your keywords. You're first just trying to rank for that exact keyword. It's easier to rank for the exact. There are fewer searches for the exact, but it is easier to rank for the exact. But as your blog becomes more authoritative, it will start ranking for more than just the exact. It will also start ranking for phrase matches. So it will include other terms, it will be included within a phrase, and then it also starts ranking as it gets more authoritative for more of the broad match phrases. And this is something that I looked at, and I've kind of been looking at how it's progressed with my biology site. And in the beginning, even when I was ranking for importance of biology, for interactive biology in my case, I was just ranking for that. But as it became more authoritative, I started ranking for different variations of that, and then different varieties, different phrases that may not have been the same keywords, but are talking about a similar topic, and that's the broad match. Okay, so that's the first part in terms of just doing the keyword research and finding how many people are searching, how often people are searching for your keyword or your keyword phrase. The next thing you need to ask yourself is, how strong is the competition? And this is something that the way I've looked at this has evolved over time. But let's say you're supposed to get in a fight with someone. Pardon the very graphic example, but you're getting ready to fight someone. Would you rather, and let's say there's a prize involved, if you take this person out, you will get $100,000. I hope that sounds good to you. So $100,000 if you can beat this person. Would you rather fight someone that looks like this or someone that looks like this? Which one would you prefer? Well, of course, you'd prefer this guy over here because it looks a little easier to compete in that situation. And that's the exact same way. Please don't go out and fight anyone as a result of this webinar. But that's the exact same way. I want you to think about this whole competition when it comes to building your website. As I said before, though, you can also enter into a very competitive niche. You can take this big guy down if you do a few things that we're going to talk about. Okay, how do we find out how strong the competition is? Well, we do a search. Importance of biology. You go to Google and you type in importance of biology and you see what comes up. Now, what you're seeing here are the results on the first page. And this is very significant because your goal should be to get on the first page. When people search for things, you want them to find you easily. And if we look at the stats, when it comes to how many people visit your site, 42%, approximately 42% of the people that search will go to the first. And then that number goes down to about 12% will go to the second, 8.4 to the third, and so on. And you can see the numbers are getting smaller and smaller as you go down. But the main take home here is approximately 90% of the people will not move past this page. 90% of the people will go only to this page. So your goal should be to get here. And of course, your ultimate goal should be to get in the number one position. So then what I do is I want to figure out how strong are these guys that are on the first page? How strong is the competition? Because now I know that the competition is there. Now I need to know how hard it would be to get to replace one of these guys. So this is how I do it. Let's go ahead and look at the first website. I'm going to click here and we're going to go to website number 1, which has this article, The Importance of Biology. And there are a few things that I want you to notice here. I have an SEO tools extension installed in Google Chrome, and I'm going to use that extension right now to give me a number of details about this website. But even before I do that, I want you to notice something. The title of this is Importance of Biology. The website address, the URL to the main website has nothing to do with importance of biology. This is just a page on the website. In other words, it's very likely, and I know that that's the case in this situation, that this website, hubpages.com, its main target is not importance of biology. And when I come over here and I click on my keyword tool, what I see is it gives me a number of details. And the ones that I'm going to pay attention to are Google. The number of pages that are indexed are 2. That's not a lot. That's not very strong. When I come down here and I look at backlinks, the number of backlinks via Google, 0. The page rank of the page, 0. And PageRank is a measure of the authority that Google gives to that website on a scale of 0 to 10. This has a PageRank of 0. That's not very significant. So this site, according to our initial analysis, does not look very hard to compete with. Let's go to the second site on that list. And that one is Education and Health Insights. Once again, it doesn't seem to really, the website itself does not seem to really target importance of biology. There's an article on the blog or the website that targets it. But when I look at the SEO tools, I can see here, yes, there are a number of pages indexed 329. It's still not a whole lot, but a significant amount. Backlinks, no backlinks. Google PageRank, no Google PageRank. And there's another aspect here that I want to show you. I'm actually scrolling down in the tool, the SEO for Chrome extension, and you can see here that there's a who is. And what this is going to do is give me all the behind the scenes information about that website. So it'll tell me the domain name, who it's hosted with, and so on. But the thing that I am interested in finding out is how old this site is. When I look here, I see that the site has been archived since 2007. I can get a good idea of how old the site is. So this site has been around for a few years. And this is one way. The shorter it's been around, the less competition, the less strength the competition has. So this has been around a little while, but not very, not like 10 years or anything of that sort. And you can that can give you a good idea about the strength of the site also. All right, so what you're probably wondering is, what about the numbers? What magic numbers should I be looking for? And I know that there are a number of people that give they give a number of different criteria that you should use, especially when it comes to niche marketing. But what I want to tell you is this: it is not all about the numbers. If it was just the numbers, then it just wouldn't be as fun to me because numbers aren't as exciting. But just to give you a good idea, if there are about 1,000 searches per month, you saw that the one that I was looking at had about 8,000 broad searches per month. If it's about 1,000 searches per month, then you can expect approximately 42%, which would be 420 visits from that specific keyword. If there are 10,000 searches per month, then you can expect approximately 4,200 visits from that keyword. But as I've told you, the focus is not niche marketing. It's about authority blogging. It's about becoming an authority in your niche. And as a result of that, you want to be ranking for many keywords because that increases the number significantly. So if you're ranking for that main keyword and you're getting 4,200 visits, and you're ranking for 50 other keywords that are giving you different numbers of visits, that can bring a significant amount of traffic. And that is why people say this phrase, content is king. The more content you have, the more keywords your site is going to be targeting. And as a result of that, the more traffic you're going to get. I hope that makes sense. Well, it does make sense. And I hope you can see the value in that. But another thing I want you to keep in mind, it's not only about search engine traffic. There are other sources of traffic. You can use YouTube, like we mentioned in Become a Blogger. You can do podcasting. You can use social networking and all of these different things. The key thing is all of these different efforts that you're doing are pointing back to your site, bringing more traffic to your site. And that is really the strategy that I like to encourage people to do. Yes, you do your keyword research, the market research to get an idea of what the demand is, what the competition is like, and then from there you can go on. So that's the free way of doing the keyword research. Now I'd like to talk about what I call the smart way of doing keyword research. And that's using a tool that many of you are probably familiar with. The tool is called Market Samurai. Now, Market Samurai is the tool that I use. And the reason why I use this tool is because I don't like to spend the time doing keyword research. I just want to go in there, put the data, and have it spit out all the details that I need. Very powerful. The thing about Market Samurai is, and this is the key, especially if you're on a budget. The key is it comes with a 12-day trial where you can use it an unlimited amount of times within those 12 days. And what I encourage people to do, if you don't want to purchase Market Samurai, get it, download it, and once you've downloaded it, use it as much as possible for the 12 days that you can. Don't leave and go and try to download it right now. I'll give you a link to do that, and you can do it later on. For now, I want you to focus completely on what I'm showing you in this presentation. So use it as much as possible and come up with your niche, your blog topic within those 12 days. And if you want to continue doing it, you can always purchase it. But you can get in on the free trial. And the URL that I want to give you, this is an affiliate link. So if you want to purchase it via that, it's becomeablogger.com/market samurai. As I think about this right now, I forgot to set up this redirect, but I will set this up as soon as the webinar is over, and you can check that out. So if you're going there now, you'll probably see that it doesn't work. So just wait until afterwards, and I'll give you that link and set it up for you to go. Okay, so let's go inside of Market Samurai, and you're gonna see that the same things we do here, the same things that we did before in the freeway, we can do here, but much more significant. When I get into Market Samurai, I can come here, open it up, and click on New Project. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter in my main keyword. They call this the seed keyword, the keyword that you're starting with, that you're hoping to get a whole bunch of information from, and then choose the valuable keywords. So I'm going to go ahead and put biology in here, and then click on Create. Once I do that, it's going to give me a number of different options. The one I'm going to start with is keyword research. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And what you're going to see is going to come to this page where you can generate a bunch of keywords like we did with the Google keyword tool. And that's where it gets that data from. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Generate Keywords. It's going to do some searching. This process usually, I've timed it. It typically takes about 30 seconds to maybe about a minute and a half. And then it comes up with a bunch of keywords just like before. And then what you want to do, there are a number of things that you can do here. You can remove certain keywords by clicking on the X if you don't want to include those keywords. You can put a check by the keywords that you definitely want to include. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the keyword analysis. I'm just going to go ahead and click on keyword analysis, which is where I can start doing some magic. When I come up here and click on Analyze Keywords, it's going to go through loading the Google keyword tool, fetching the data, and then eventually it's going to give me a whole bunch of information. Now, what I want to do, I see that it's showing a number of things here, SEOT, PBR. There's one more that I wanted to show, and that's the total searches. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Total Searches. And then you'll see here, it shows me the amount of searches. It'll show me the search engine traffic. So in other words, if I rank #1 in Google, this is exactly how many visits I can expect to get on a daily basis. The phrase to broad match ratio, that's a significant value. And what it does is it kind of, if the values are low, it indicates that the word orderings, the order of the words that are being searched for, is not exactly what you're looking for. So you want to make sure that that PBR ratio is above. The magic number that they give is 15%. So here, biology science is at 7%. That's not going to be very accurate. So I want that to be at least 15%. So I'm going to come here and put in here 15. And once I do that, what it's going to do is it's going to get rid of everything that's less than 15%. Okay, if that sounds a bit confusing, don't worry too much about it. The big idea is you put in biology, it's giving you a lot of keywords, and you're analyzing those keywords. Then it also tells you how much competition there is. You can get information about the trends, how much people are spending, and what the value of that keyword is. Of course, you're going to see some really high values here because these are very competitive terms. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to reorder everything. I'm going to reorder it by first the number of searches. So I can have the highest number of searches at the top and the least number of searches at the bottom. But then also I'm going to reorder it based on competition. So it's going to show the least amount of competition here, and then the numbers are going to increase. And then I'm just going to kind of scroll down and see what I see. UBC biology, I don't even know what that means. Biology practicals, interesting. But as we did before, one that stands out to me is importance of biology. And what I see here is that there are 325 searches on a daily basis. If I rank number 1 in Google, I can expect 137 visits every day. There are almost 40,000 competing sites, which is not a lot. It tells me what the average cost per click is. So that tells me how much advertisers are willing to spend on that particular topic, that particular keyword. And if they're willing to spend that, this is how much, not just they're willing, but they're spending that right now. The average daily value of just this keyword is $54.68. I didn't do the math here, but if I'm going to do some rough math in my mind right now, that tells me that the value of this keyword is approximately $1,700 per month. So if I target this keyword, the going value for that, or the value that kind of gives me an idea of monetizability of how much people are spending, is about $1,700 a month. That may be significant to you. It may not be significant to you. To me, it's significant because I'm not only targeting that one keyword, I'm also, because I'm building an authority site, targeting a bunch of other keywords. And the more keywords I can target, the more keywords that I can rank number 1 to 4, the more money I can make with my website. All right, so from there, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to, okay, so what I'm going to do, if I were in Market Samurai, I'm going to click on this little key thing here that is going to separate out importance of biology for me so I can do further analysis. And the analysis that I want to do, first I'm going to go to that tab, importance of biology. I want to see how much the competition is. And this is the process that I would recommend for you to go through if you are doing this. So I'm going to come here and look at SEO competition. And then I'm going to come over here and generate results. And when I generate results, Market Samurai does this amazing thing that gets me excited every time I see something that looks like this. When you see red, that means it's very hard to compete for those keywords. When you see green, it's very easy to compete for whatever that position is. And when you see yellow, it's a medium level of difficulty. So what you want to see right here, it's telling you the 10 sites that are ranking on the first page of Google. And the more green and yellow you see, the better. And here I'm seeing a lot of green and yellow. And that means it will not be very difficult to outcompete these guys. I see here, this shows you the number of backlinks to the page. Hardly any. Yes, there's this one here, but there are a bunch of them that don't have a lot of backlinks. When I look at the backlinks on the domain, it's higher, but you still see a lot of yellow. When I look about over here, it tells you whether the name is in the title, in the URL, the description. So is importance of biology in all of these things. I see some yellow, but I see a number of green. This looks good to me. This tells me if this is something that I'm interested in, this is something that I can rank for relatively easy. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come here and see if the domain is available. I'm going to go ahead and click on domains, and then I'm going to type in here importance of biology. And then I'm going to click on Find Domains. And when I do that, guess what I see? Importanceofbiology.com is available. When I see this, I get excited. If I was interested in starting a biology website right now, this is exactly what I would call my website. Importanceofbiology.com. I would go ahead and go to Namecheap and I would register that domain and get started talking about biology, sharing stuff about biology, being passionate about biology, and providing people with the things that they are looking for, as we have spoken about earlier on in this episode. So if you're interested in getting Market Samurai and getting the free trial for 12 days, after this webinar, I'll set it up for you. You can go to becomeablogger.com/Market Samurai. Now, I want to talk a little bit now about something that I said I was going to talk about, finding content. The first thing I want you to do is use your brain. If this is something that you're passionate about, as we've mentioned, the brain is a very powerful thing. Use your brain and think about different things that you can write about, you can blog about, you can make videos about, you can do a podcast about, and so on. Keyword research. I showed you how to do that, and that can be great for finding content. Doing an Amazon book search, also a great idea for finding content. And using content aggregators, which is extremely cool, very cool. I'm going to show you how I go about doing these types of things. First, let's look at keyword research. I'm not going to talk a lot about this, but I'm going to give you an example. When I started my biology website, I wanted to know what people were searching for. I went into Market Samurai and I saw that people were looking for human heart diagrams. So what I did is I went online and I found a bunch of human heart diagrams. I put them on my website and I made a blog post entitled, "Here are a bunch of human heart diagrams." And up to today, just from doing that keyword research one time, in the last 30 days, you can see that human heart, I've received about 1,200 visits from people searching for different variations of human heart. And this is what you can do. As you do your keyword research, you can see what people are searching for, and then you can use that to come up with ideas for articles, for content that you can add on your site. Then you can do Amazon book searches. When I search for biology in Amazon, a number of books come up. And then I can see some of them has this thing here that says click to look inside. And if I click to look inside and I go to the table of contents, I just get a bunch of things, a bunch of ideas from the table of contents of these biology books. So if your niche, your topic is knitting, you can do a search for knitting and you can find these great books. You can see books that people are very interested in and then look inside and see what they're talking about, So the chemistry of life, acquiring energy to run the motor, biodiversity and classification, pondering the principles of physiology. These are all potential topics. So if you're struggling to come up with ideas, go to Amazon, do a search for your topic, and see what's in the contents. Now, in terms of current things to write about, it's always good to talk about things that are happening in your industry, in your niche, surrounding your topic. And there's a website called Popular URLs or Pop URLs, which is an aggregator that scans the internet, and it finds all of the content that is popular right now. It's at popurls.com. If you don't have this in your bookmarks, go ahead and put it there. This is just all the general content that's popular, but I can come up here and search for biology. And when I do that, what it's going to do is it's going to show me all of the different things that are popular right now when it comes to biology. For example, we need a career path for college students, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what else here. How to grow a biological city of the future. That's something that's happening right now, and that's an idea that I can go to that website and see what they're talking about and possibly talk about it on my website. Let's see what else is interesting here. Bears use hibernation to regenerate their wounds without a hint of scarring. Well, I can go to that website and see what people are talking about there, and I can talk about that topic. This website is an awesome resource that anyone can use. It also tells you what's happening on Twitter, what people are tweeting about, and you can go here and easily just put in the topic and see what's going on the internet and get ideas for things to talk about. Another example of one of these sites would be alltop.com. And this is another content aggregator that scans the web and finds very popular topics at the time that you are searching. You can go ahead and search for your topic and find relevant content that is important, that is happening right now. Then so these are content aggregators, and these are always things that you can go and find content from. So you can use the Google keyword tool. Well, first of all, you can use your brain. You can use the keyword research from using Market Samurai or the Google keyword tool. You can use these content aggregators to come up with content. You can find content in the table of contents in Amazon book search. Now, I want to talk about competitive niches. It is possible to succeed in a competitive niche. I know I've been talking all this stuff about keyword research and competition and making sure the competition is low, but that's not always an indicator that you can succeed in a particular niche. There are many examples of people that have gone into competitive niches and made a significant impact and are doing great things online. One of the niches that I'm in is internet marketing and teaching people how to blog and so on. That is extremely popular and competitive. But you need to make sure you have a unique selling proposition. What are you going to do that's different from someone else, from everyone else? How are you going to be unique? And one of the key ways of being unique is by infusing your personality. And you know why that's the case? Because there's not one other person out there that is exactly like you. So if you're thinking about going into a competitive niche, don't let keyword research stop you. Go into it, but if you're doing that, make sure that you're doing it from a unique way. You're infusing your personality. You have your unique selling proposition. If a niche is competitive, that's an indication that there is money in that niche. And when we think about things like internet marketing, weight loss, making money online, health and fitness, those are very competitive niches. But you find people that are going into them on a regular basis, even today amongst all the competition, and really standing out from the crowd. So we're coming down to the end of the presentation. And I want to give you my final speech. When it comes to choosing your blog topic, the important thing, just imagine this picture is me in front of you now talking. The important thing is to take action and choose a niche. Do the research, yes, but don't use the research as an excuse to not get started. Don't do the research and then say to yourself, well, there's too much competition and I love this, but let me just continue doing more and more research. It is better to jump in, dive in. You will have some successes and you will make mistakes. The key is this: when you make mistakes, learn from those mistakes. You will become stronger, you will become better, and you will be able to take the knowledge that you've acquired on that project and make it even better, or even maybe if you move on to another project, find success in that next project because of the experiences that you've had. The worst thing that you can do is just do a bunch of research and do nothing with that research. Do some research, spend a little bit of time doing it, but then make a decision, make a choice, choose a niche, and get your blog started.